Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate RingsideNews.com. The road to Wrestlemania is underway and the card for Wrestlemania is finally starting to shape up. Let's take a look at the questions here from spring.me/Aaron Rift regarding the Royal Rumble, Wrestlemania, and other topics. First one today comes from WCW Fan. Aaron, I'm not the biggest Daniel Bryan fan, but I recognize his popularity and talent. If WWE is dumb enough not to have him win the Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania 31, why, Lord, is he being rumored of facing Sheamus at WrestleMania? Not Rollins, Ambrose, or Wyatt, but Sheamus. What the hell? I agree with you. I think that Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan, while that could be a good match, and if Sheamus comes back and turns heel, that could give him some momentum. That is not the match people want to see from Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. If WWE is not going to have Daniel Bryan in the main event at WrestleMania, he still needs to be in the biggest match possible. He's probably going to get the biggest reaction on the entire show. You need to give Daniel Bryan a high-profile match. Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins would be great, but it makes more sense to go with Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. If it was my call, I would have gone with Daniel Bryan versus Dean Ambrose, with Ambrose going heel. They could have had Dean Ambrose eliminate Daniel Bryan at the very end of the Royal Rumble. That way all the heat could have gone to Ambrose, and you would have made Ambrose a heel, and he could have gotten some momentum following the not so spectacular run against Bray Wyatt. I think that Ambrose and Bryan would have had a great opportunity to steal the show, and both of them would have come out of WrestleMania looking stronger. So I think WWE could still do that match. They could still go with an Ambrose heel turn. I would much rather see that than Bryan versus Sheamus. I think that you need to put two of your top stars in a marquee match at WrestleMania. And Sheamus, let's face it, hasn't really done much lately. A heel turn could do him some good, but Bryan and Sheamus, I mean, come on now. I really don't think a lot of people care about that match. I think Bryan and Ambrose would have a much better chance to tear the house down. All right, this one comes from Wrestling. Hey, Aaron, if crowd reaction continues in the same vein, is the Reigns-Lesnar double turn inevitable? And if so, what do you think of the idea of that turn happening at WrestleMania with Heyman screwing Brock by helping Roman Reigns, for instance? I really feel that WWE needs to give it a little bit of time and see how fans react to Roman Reigns. It's quite possible that other cities will cheer for him and it was just a one-time deal in Philadelphia. But with that being said, as I've talked about during the Royal Rumble review video, I have my concerns about how the crowd is going to react to Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. For one thing, if Brock Lesnar's leaving the company, how are fans going to react to him? And how are fans going to react to Reigns when it's 70,000 of the most hardcore WWE fans, a lot of them that were in Philadelphia, are going to be there at WrestleMania. And a lot of those types of fans, those smart fans, those very hardcore vocal fans are going to be at WrestleMania and Raw the next night. How is WWE going to handle that with Roman Reigns? You really don't want the crowd crapping on the guy that you're grooming to be the next face of the company. It depends. I think if WWE books Roman Reigns as a badass and they prevent him from going out there and making a fool of himself with the lame comedy and the Looney Tunes promos, there's a chance you can get fans to get behind him again. But if WWE keeps scripting those really bad promos for him and he continues to fall flat with those promos, it's going to do him a lot of harm. And at that point, a double turn would be a very logical move. The crowd already loves Brock Lesnar. Every time he comes out, he gets a huge pop. And you could make Roman Reigns a heel and have him be the champion for a while. You can look at it from the perspective of what happened with Rocky Maivia. When he came in, he was overpushed as a babyface, and the crowd rejected it. WWE turned him into The Rock. He joined the Nation of Domination, and his career really took off. So maybe a Roman Reigns heel turn with Paul Heyman backing him up, that could do a lot of good for Roman Reigns. And then eventually you can turn him babyface again and make him the face of the company. So that is definitely a possibility. And I think a lot of it will depend how the fans react to Roman Reigns. If they keep cheering him for the most part, I think WWE will just try to stick with their original plan of making him the next John Cena. But if he gets booed in more cities now, and it's very much a possibility if there's a domino effect and fans react to Roman Reigns the same way that the Philadelphia fans reacted, if that happens, then it would make a lot of sense to do the double turn. All right, this one comes from Alexander WWE. Hey Aaron, do you see Randy Orton beating Seth Rollins when he comes back? Both are established as of today. Please answer in video. That would not surprise me at all because that's how WWE usually books the Money in the Bank winner. They always end up losing matches before they cash in Money in the Bank. Although with Seth Rollins, WWE for the most part has done a good job of keeping him strong. He has lost some big matches against Cena, and he lost at the Royal Rumble, but he looked good in the Royal Rumble. He had a very strong showing despite losing. So WWE has done a good job with Seth Rollins compared to other Money in the Bank winners. But with that being said, I could absolutely see Randy Orton beating Seth Rollins right before Rollins cashes in Money in the Bank. Whether that happens at WrestleMania or not, or afterwards, that remains to be seen. But Randy Orton could always beat Rollins, and then Rollins wins Money in the Bank and cashes it in and gets the title, and then Randy Orton can challenge him for the title. And I got this question here from Bader1993. Hey Aaron, what do you think WWE should do regarding Seth Rollins and him cashing in Money in the Bank? It would be devastating to him if he cashes in unsuccessfully against Roman Reigns after WrestleMania with all the good form that he's in. Thank you. I've addressed this before with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. I think that Roman Reigns winning the WWE title at WrestleMania, that moment should stand on its own. I think it would be a mistake to have Seth Rollins cash it in at WrestleMania. I think what you could do is give Roman Reigns a decent run for a couple of months. Seth Rollins has up to a year in the storyline. And, knowing WWE, they could just extend that and act like that storyline doesn't exist. That's something typical that they could do if they wanted to. But if it was me, I would have Roman Reigns be champion at least for a couple months, maybe until June or even the very last minute at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Have Seth Rollins cash it in June, early July on Roman Reigns and successfully win the title, and then you build up to a Shield triple threat match at SummerSlam. I think that would be a good way to keep that storyline going and give the fans that Shield triple threat match that we've been waiting for some time now, have that be the main event of SummerSlam for the WWE title. Got this question here from CPW1978. Please share your thoughts on the recent NoDQ.com articles reporting how the WWE Network reached 1 million subscribers. Isn't that a suck it to the hyped canceled WWE Network hashtag? Yeah, the timing of that is definitely very interesting. I think WWE did it on purpose as a response to all the negative publicity, and Vince's attitude has always been that there's no such thing as bad publicity. Any publicity is good publicity, and as Eric Bischoff has always said, sometimes controversy creates cash, and that very well could be the case here. WWE got all this negative buzz about the Royal Rumble, but with all this buzz, you got people curious and perhaps subscribing to the network to see what all the fuss was about. And, the network is a great service. Even if the Royal Rumble had a weak finish and the Royal Rumble match was disappointing, the network is a tremendous bargain. I mean, for $9.99 to get all that content, all the matches, all the pay-per-views, it's really a tremendous bargain. So it's quite ridiculous to cancel the network because of the outcome of one match. And I know some people are doing it to make a statement, to say, hey, we do not like the direction WWE's going in, and people are canceling the network out of protest. And it's really hard to say because I don't think WWE is going to publicly announce how many people unsubscribed after the Royal Rumble. And there's a possibility that number could drop because from what I've been told from various people, people that actually people that unsubscribe to the network right after the Royal Rumble, that subscription is still valid until, I guess, February 25th, something like that. So it wouldn't be until late February when those unsubscribes would take effect. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, I never expected people to cancel the WWE Network in large quantities. I figured, it's a very vocal minority that are protesting and are really upset about the outcome of the Royal Rumble. And, there's going to be a lot of casual fans out there that are curious about what's going on that will subscribe to the network. And, that number will obviously be larger than the amount of people that unsubscribe to the network. Alright, that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com. Very busy week. One of the busiest news weeks in the history of the website. Monday was actually the 4th biggest day in NoDQ.com site traffic ever. So thank you guys for checking out NoDQ, and thank you for checking out the videos. And I will see you guys next time for more NoDQ&A video.